So at first, like, yeah, it seems like you kind of just be doing this the whole time. Or like this. Variations. But there's a couple of neat tricks that you have with these, like your basic attack. And not only your basic attack, but your skill, as well as your imagines, that you can do to make combat a little smoother. And also give you a lot more time to use cancel windows to dodge or get out the way when you need to. So the first cancel is the jump cancel. You can cancel out of any basic attack with jump. Jump takes 20 stamina, so you can't do it forever. So you can do like this, jump. You have a jump cancel. Aegis Fighter, he can, oh yeah, I guess he took it out. But he used to be able to kind of cancel with block. But you have to jump cancel first and foremost for basic attacks. You can also cancel basic attacks into skill. You can cancel the end lag of basic attacks into skill. Like that. Now, when it comes to your regular skills though, right? Like your regular skills have end lag to them that you can't necessarily cancel unless you do a dodge. In most cases. Like if you're doing a skill, you kind of just do this and you have to wait for the end lag. Unless you dodge. And that is true. But you can also use your imagines to cancel out of the end lag of skills as well. So you can do like your skill and then into imagine and cancel out the end lag of your skill. And since the imagine summon animation is so quick, you can just effectively cancel and get out the way. Basically. And you can do this like skill to imagine. It doesn't work imagine to skill. So you can't do it imagine to skill. But you can kind of weave your imagines in with your skills to kind of give you cool combos and cool strings that you can put together with just a class. You also have your plunge attack, which every class has. And you also have your dash attack, which every class has. You do both by either dodging and pressing left mouse button, right mouse button, or double jumping, pressing left mouse button, right mouse button. You can also do it by just jumping, but it does way less damage. But it also doesn't cost half as much stamina because jumping off of an enemy does cost a lot of stamina. So you can do things like your basic attack into a plunge, into a skill, into an imagine. We'll wait for the other imagine to come off cooldown. Or you can do things like your basic attack into plunge, into skill, into dodge attack. Or you can do things like dodge attack into plunge, into skill, into dodge attack. So it just gives you a lot of more combo freedom in the game rather than just pressing left click the whole time. Because to me, when I first seen the game and I was seeing people do this looked very boring to me. But actually playing the game and actually experimenting with the combo system or the combat system, you're actually able to do quite a bit. So if like you put it all together, you can do things like this. And then as long as like, if you're a twin striker, for example, or you're like a spell weaver, or spell weaver doesn't necessarily need it because a lot of your end lag for your skills are pretty short. Or if you're a foe breaker, for example, you can actually stand behind the boss where the boss most likely is not going to hit you and just wail on them and use all these animation cancels to do a buttload of damage. And you can keep going as much as you have cooldowns. So you can basically, if you really wanted to, you could spend your whole bar within your 100 stamina. So every kill on your cooldown, on your hotbar. And you can do it so quickly that you'd actually have time to, it's if you have a burst window, like a short burst window, like an elemental burst, you actually be able to get all of that off potentially in an elemental burst. Or, for example, if you wanted to just use cancels like that to get out of the way if a boss is going to hit you, you definitely can. Of course, you can always just use the dodge, but there's also going to be situations where you may not have enough stamina for a dodge, and you may be like right in the middle of a skill or using a skill, and you don't have a way to kind of cancel out the end lag of that skill. You can use like your imagine to kind of cancel out that end lag for you. And get out the way. And with imagines like Fest, where Fest stuns, you can use that to kind of re-engage the enemy as well. So all in all, the combat in this game I think is actually really dope. I think at like first glance, it like seems very basic. And like it seems like they're just doing this the whole time. But when you put everything that they give you together, and I'm also dodging after the imagine because that's just like force of habit. Like that's because like most mobs, when I usually do that, they attack, so it's just force of habit, like me dodging after the imagine summon. But if a mob is not gonna hit you, you can just go ahead and just go right into another skill, because you can just imagine summon right into skill. You can't cancel the end lag of like this imagine animation with the skill, but since the imagine animation is so quick, you can just put out a skill right after, if the mob is not gonna hit you. To be honest, I think like the plunge in itself is probably like the best addition to the game. Like that in itself, this just feels fun as hell to do in game. It really does. And then you can also build your imagine to kind of set up combos for you. So right now I have Fest imagine and then the Boar imagine. Boar imagine has like a little bit of startup time to it, so sometimes you may miss. But Fest imagine stuns, so you can kind of guarantee the hit as long as Fest imagine hits with the Boar. And you can also use Blade Warden's shield bash to guarantee a stun as well, if you really needed to. But yeah, all in all, I think the combat in this game is fire. It does look like a lot, or at least when you put it all together, it looks like a lot. But originally, it is very easy to get into, and I feel like as more people experiment with it, it'll only get better. I think this, like, the potential for it to get even more flashier is there, especially as they add flashier classes. But let me know what you think though, or y'all think. The combat dope in this game or no?